We're special, Vinny.
Please hurry!
Ooh, the creepiest damn thing.
This June, the black phone rings, but the question is, will you answer the call? The movie is directed by Scott Derrickson and follows 13-year-old Finley Shaw, who after being abducted by a child killer and locked in a soundproof basement, starts receiving calls on a disconnected phone from the killer's previous victims. For the record, this is a completely non-spoiler review, so feel free to continue on with the video, regardless of if you've seen the film as of yet or not, which is a terrifying, sinister, and twisted experience. To dive deeper into the review, the movie excels in its direction thanks to director Scott Derrickson, who really brings out the best of the performances in this movie, as well as the entertainment factor. Yes, while this is a horror movie, it does not rely on jump scare after jump scare. Instead, the film takes its time to slowly build up to its climactic terror payoffs, which has far better results than if it were to just throw scares at us. The premise of the movie is just as great as it is executed, so simple yet so layered, to where it feels like despite the spiritual elements of it, it easily could have been based on a real life event, making it even more so suspenseful and horrifying to think about. As for the cast, Ethan Hawke delivers a sinister, chilling, and mysterious performance as the Grabber, a character who we don't learn too much about but instantly is cemented as one of the best day modern antagonists. He's calculating, creepy, and wicked with insanity, and although he's lacking in the backstory department, there's a very real reason for that, with Scott Derrickson stating that he'd rather have the backstory be quite elusive, like the Joker in The Dark Knight, where we don't really know how the Joker got those scars. There's several different stories and several different ways it could have happened, and the audience isn't actually confirmed on which one of those is true and which one of those is false. And while I wish we knew just a little bit more about the Grabber's backstory and why he is the way he is, I totally understand that thought process and completely see that that is exactly what the filmmakers in this film were going for, so I can respect that. The co-lead in the movie is portrayed by newcomer Mason Thames, who wastes no time in displaying his acting abilities, thanks to the beginning act of this movie, which allows us to sit with him through his home and school life, as well as see the bond he shares with his sister, portrayed by Madeleine McGraw, who, by the way, is phenomenal in this movie and delivered several gags, several quips and one-liners that had me absolutely belly laughing. So that when things actually did go wrong and the movie really kicked into its elements around the second act, we were straight away rooting for the character's survival and awaiting for the moment he hopefully reunites with his sister. To top the positives of this review off, the film is coated with a great soundtrack and score thanks to the movie's composer, Mark Corvin. The score really seeps into the scenes, and especially ones featuring the appearance of the Grabber, to bring in the full weight of his presence, and it all elevates the scene, forging it nicely together to just overall bring out the excellence in quality that this film really is, even from just a technical standpoint. Now to get into some of my gripes about the movie, and they're only gripes because I don't exactly see them as negatives. And I don't really have all that many, however, not all that many isn't none at all. I wish this movie would have allowed us to just see elements of the other victims and what they went through. The film gives us little glimpses and little shots and ideas about what they went through with the Grabber and how their deaths happened, but it doesn't actually give us anything significant to go off. And their take-ins are pretty much fade to black or cutaway shots, and while I understand that was to draw out the time until the movie really kicked into its gear with Finney's kidnapping, I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel just a little bit underwhelmed during those cutaway or fadeaway moments. But despite all that, the black phone terrifies, delivering a sinister, twisted, and nightmare-inducing experience. I went into this movie hoping to just have a good time and left having had a great time. So if you've seen the black phone, I want to hear your thoughts about the movie. What did you think of it? Jump down in the comment section below and let me know. That'll be great to hear. I'm curious as to what other people think of this movie. I'm curious as to how the general perception of it is and how well it's going to do, and more so the future of it, because there are ways you could go with a potential future for this movie. But anyway guys, that is enough from me. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed the movie, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Take it easy guys. Bye.